So recently we've been seeing a lot of folks in the social media groups selling these old Ford door panels for the OBS Ford trucks, claiming that they are perfect condition, zero cracks anywhere. So we're going to do this quick little video here just to describe certain things to look for if you're either purchasing or selling these doors. I mean, we've been in business a long time and we've had absolutely stunning doors come in that look beautiful before we even touch them, but there's always damages hidden behind the scenes. You just need to know where and how to look. So this door here, I understand it's already torn down. There was one little repair already made to it, but there's more to be done. And the things I'm about to just demonstrate are things that are almost always missed by folks. So let's just get into it here. And they're things that are going to be seen if you know how to look and where to look. So here we go. All right, so we're going to start over here. So this is where your armrest would be and where the insert lives, of course. And one thing we always see out of all of the doors we have had in the recent years, we have had, I don't know, maybe that I can think of, less than half a dozen that have not had this piece of damage that I'm going to show you. And that is right here. It's going to be really hard to see in this video, but right where the armrest comes up to the front and the insert comes down right here, there's always cracks here behind the armrest. So of course you can't see those with the armrest on, and I'll show you exactly what I'm gonna see if I can do this one-handed here. Just flex it a little bit, and there it is. This is a minor one, but 9 out of 10 times this is going to exist even on the most beautiful of panels. So that is always there. Really bad ones, of course, it spreads here, it spreads all under and behind, but this is pretty average. This door was actually in really good condition. I would rate that when this door came in, I would have rated it like an 8 or 9 out of 10. But it has this, and of course on the back side, we got the back of our panel here. This is where that padding would be originally. So again, you're not going to see with the padding there, but if you look behind it, get a light, shine it through, you can see those things. So I'm going to flip this. So here's our orientation here. Looks fine, doesn't it? Until we start to flex it around. And this is 9 out of 10 times going to be here. So that's always a thing. Oftentimes they always break right here, but almost everybody has issues with this anyway. Another one I want to point out is this mounting point here. This one's not too bad. It's going to be hard to see. It looks okay, but we have a little bit of white showing here, so that's starting to break. It's not actually broken yet. You can just flex this around a little bit, and we can see it already wants to flex a little. This is all I'm doing. This is not seen from the front on this panel specifically, but that's something to look for, because a lot of the time we look at it and we're like, oh, that's not even broken. And from the front, it looks fantastic. Even when we flex it around, nothing's going on in the front. But when we flip it over and flex a little bit, we see them where they're fully separating and you just can't see it from the front, and you cannot see it until it's stressed out. So another thing to always look for. Here's another one. These little mounting points here where the screws go on the bottom of the door, these are all here. They don't appear to be damaged. Look at that guy. Looks good. Looks good. They all pretty much look the same. But let's take a closer look. So of course the carpet is not on this panel, but so you would not have seen that from any damages from the front beforehand. But if you flip it over to the back, just give this a little stress and look at all that mess. That's webbing right off of there. We have that guy there, all the way around. But just taking a quick look at it, it looks fine, doesn't it? That is one or two of these, even on the most beautiful panels, is extremely common to have. Just like it's very rare to not have these damages here. Again, we see folks selling panels and stuff on social media often, and this hopefully is going to help them inspect panels better, because we've been doing this for years and we've worked on hundreds of these panels, and I have never seen a door come in, even beautiful ones, without at least one of these super common issues going on. Another one is oftentimes these start to release even when we see folks, they have problems where these break and, you know, the pocket's bowing out or whatever. But even on ones that aren't doing that, oftentimes these are broken. This one was a tiny bit. We just started that, so that's not really worth showing. But again, these are just things to look out for. You have to know where and how to look. It's extremely rare to even have a beautiful panel that doesn't have one of these little damages, so just inspect your stuff real good if you're selling it or purchasing it, and we're just out here to try and help folks by showing you all these little things to look for. And another one really quick is oftentimes right here there's a break on this pocket. You have to flex it to see it. Let's see if this has it. So we're just going to flex this out a little bit. See, it's starting to. It's not really bad. It's barely starting. Usually they're a little worse than this. So that'll need to get tackled while it's here. But this is another very common place that's missed when things aren't very bad or you don't know where or how to look properly. These are all things that we see. Another thing to look at quick is these vents. So usually they look fine. But, you know, we usually just move these around a little bit, see if any, we have a break there. The part itself just jumped the gun before I could say it. We have it here too. These are little things that we tackle while it's here. It's just another thing for you guys to look for. And I'm going to talk about the insert as well. So, of course, this insert's already had the basic repairs. It needs some more sanding and stuff before we can upholster it. But I'm just going to pull this off. Most of the time, this insert was actually one of the better ones we've seen in a long time. But usually, everybody knows these are a mess. They always break. And oftentimes, you know, this here will have its clip on here and it'll appear just fine. But if you take the clip off or wiggle this around, you'll see it's starting to web cracks through. Or maybe right here is just starting to break and it looks okay. And more commonly, too, the ones that look okay, other than the rare occasion where they're not, is when the original vinyl is still on here, it's usually holding it together. It's extremely common to have ones, even when the vinyl's in good shape, we take it off, and most of the time there's at least a couple cracks going on down here. This one, it's not true for this one, which I was very, very surprised. But also, they break right here, which everybody knows that, but even on ones where they look really good, it's very, very common that once this is removed from the door, this is not really something you're going to see until it's removed, but these will be broken. We remove it from the door, take the vinyl off, and boom, it falls into two pieces, but it looked fantastic to start with. You can see we started some repairs here. This was in two pieces. Well, not quite two pieces. This crack only went to about here, but this was broke all the way through. Extremely common. What you can do when this is still on the door is you shine a light through, and if you clean this up a little bit in here while it's still on the door, if you're inspecting it to buy it or sell it, you can look through, spray some water or anything you want down here, just spray it, and just poke from the front side, maybe put your hand up in here like this, you know, and flex it around, and you'll see the water or whatever liquid you sprayed in there moving in and out of the cracks. It's a really good way to see things like that. But these are probably the most rare thing to see not broken, even on awesome looking doors. So we just hope this helps you guys out. One last thing, I've probably said that 4 times during this video, but I want to show you is on the back of that pocket. So let's flip this over. This is usually a hit or a miss, but we always check it because we'll go ahead and take care of it while it's here. But commonly these spot welds release, and of course everything looks fine. But you just take a little screwdriver right here. You can just stick it in, and you'll know if these are released. I don't think this one has it, but if it is, you'll see this starting to go like this. Sometimes it'll do it in the middle. Oh, here's one. See, that's released. These have released. So that'll get taken care of while it's here, but it's just another thing to look for. There might be a couple things I'm missing here, but that's the basics of it. The whole purpose of showing everybody this is just to say, hey, you know, we understand doors can look perfect, but start looking behind the scenes. Hopefully this helps the sellers out a little bit, so that way they're aware of things, or if they wanted to fix something before selling it, they can properly inspect things and take care of that before they choose to sell it. Or if you're going to the junkyard or buying from a seller locally or over the internet or social media or whatever, if you're aware of these things, you can have them check if maybe they have already, maybe they haven't, but just out here trying to help folks for things that we see almost on an everyday basis, regardless of the condition of the parts. This door was in really good condition. Like I said, I'd rate it out of like an 8 or a 9 for what it is. And from the front, when it was all together, I mean, the thing looked pretty good other than needing to be cleaned. So figured before we get too deep into this, I'd share these things. So we're going to go ahead and get this door all cleaned up so we can finish doing all those repairs.